Stop chasing, man. Y'all get on in here. Happy Sunday to all of y'all. How y'all feeling? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Y'all get in here. All right. Happy Sunday. How's y'all weekend? Let me know where y'all chiming in from as y'all come in. We got up in here. We got 1,000 proof in the building. What's going on? Let's go. Ready to lock. He said, how are you? I'm ready to buy some honey. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get some. We're gonna get some. We're gonna get a nice little couple dozen of honey buns. Yeah. Some jumbos. I like it. QTZ, what up? What up, QTZ? How you feeling, Pamela? Good to see you. Daily Bread, what's going on? Doop! Y'all get on in here. All right, as y'all coming in, hit that like button. We about to go over some pretty pretty awesome levels, right? I got 3 on my watch list that I'm looking at. Again, y'all know how we do. I'm gonna go, flip it to y'all, see what y'all want me to analyze, and we'll see if there's anything in that we can find. But I do want to first talk about just like I just want to kind of check in on everybody. How's everybody feeling, right? I know there's a lot going on in the world, and sometimes we try to sometimes we like quickly bypass things, or we'll just accept things, and just things are just business as usual. But I do want to get a temperature check, just how everybody's feeling. How are you being impacted by what you're seeing around you? How's everything in your personal life? Like, where are you at right now? All right, before we get into the business, everything, like, just how are y'all like truly feeling? I'm genuinely interested. Okay, Mikey, what up, bro? How you feeling? Miss Virgo, how you doing? Wise, what's going on, Wise? Healthy, wealthy, and wise. I love to hear it, man. I love to hear it. Y'all hit that like button as y'all come in. Doop! One time for me. That's all I need, man. Like I said, I never gatekeep levels, information, energy, none of that. All I need you to do is just give me that doop, and that's it. All right. How y'all feeling? What's going on in y'all world? You said you feel weird right now, for real. Hey, thank you for being, for being transparent. It is an interesting time, yo. It's definitely an interesting time. There's a lot of contradictory information in the media. It's a lot of stuff that can really just kind of make you feel rattled. It can make you feel a little off your square. But I definitely want to just remind y'all, like, that no matter what's going on in the world, right? Like, always try to find your center. You know what I mean? Like, always try to find your balance within, all of the chaos. But if you do feel a little off, it's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, listen, it's it's not normal for bombs to be flying all over the place. Not here necessarily. Hopefully we can continue that. But there's places that we visited, right? Right, Dubai, right? It's public places. You know what I mean? So I'm never one to like rile up fear or anything like that. But it's just like, yo, like there's a level of desensitization that's taking place across the internet where we just kind of like see shit and we just keep scrolling. It's like, hold up. This shit is not normal. So I just want to make sure that everybody's just like, like just good. You know what I mean? And if you're not, like, find that center, find a moment at some point. Matter of fact, we could all just take a collective deep breath right now. You know what I mean? And just kind of like, all right, we here together. We're in something familiar. You know what I mean? So if y'all want to take a moment, just to kind of like just bring yourself into this moment, take a deep breath, then feel more than free to do that. All right. Let's see. I'm feeling good. Like I said, there's a lot going on that I do see. Right. No matter where you are, how much work you do, there's still a reality, outside of your window. You know what I mean, of some of the things that's taking place in the world. So yeah, it's unsettling to see a lot of that stuff taking place. I'm not gonna lie. I love that, Liz. Trust God so you don't fear anything. I love that. Zay, what up? What up? Apostle, what's going on? What's going on, brother? KP, how you feeling? You said you took Thursday and Friday off. It was good for the soul. Hey, Mikey, that's a really good thing to do. I was telling people who had like not that good of a week last week to think about doing that in this coming week. Like if we did really well last week, but there were some people that might not have caught those moves or might have made some some bad decisions, and it's just like yo, when y'all get on the call this week, you could just listen. You don't have to immediately try to regain whatever it is that you lost. All right, I think that's always a good idea to just take sporadic moments. You could even have days that you kind of build in, like yo, I'm out of a 5 day week. Like maybe I'm gonna have a watch day. Like in between the week. It's and that watch day doesn't have to be a specific day, but it could just be like okay, whenever things are not like really flowing the way that feels comfortable for me, I'm gonna just kind of like sit back and observe. That's gonna save you more money than you could imagine. All right, just simply deciding to trade in the times that you feel like you're 100% there. That's gonna save you from taking unnecessary losses. So they're feeling ready to make this money regardless of the direction. Exactly. That's the beautiful thing about this market. All right. You said how nice. I joined just in time to see you were going live. Yeah, newbie. Yeah, it's definitely a lot going on out there, right? We try not to internalize it, but the reality is that it is still taking place, and there are people on the other end of all of this stuff. So, I always just try to keep that in mind as well, and never develop an arrogance as if something can't happen to us. Um, let's see, I'm feeling upset with not exactly. It's just like it. It always bothers me that like a lot of this stuff is literally like it's painted one way, but oftentimes it's something that we have no idea that's going on behind the scenes, and you got real people's lives at stake because of some little frivolous feud. I'm feeling good, focused as hell. I'm like, hey, that's what I like to hear, Best Beezy. Locked in. Grease Monkey, how you feeling? Feeling empowered and disciplined. There we go. Hey, look, I'm loving the energy, y'all. Let's keep it up. Paper stack and feeling like it's what it is and keep it moving. There we go. There we go. Genesis, what's going on, brother? Forever Fitness, feeling good. There we go. I'm exhausted. I've been going through the course and digesting everything. I'm grateful to have found TPC and my church's initials. Oh wow. Hey, that's if that's not alignment, I don't know what is, Tasha. Good to see you again. I don't know what is. That's alignment right there. All right, but look, take your time with the course. It's not going to all hit you at one time, right? It's in as you continue to go through, continue to join the lives, continue to give the reps. Like it'll start to settle in a little bit, right? But that learning curve, whenever it's something new, it's always a little learning curve. It's always a little like a little awkwardness in the initial phases. But stay with it, stay with us, and you'll be right on point. All right. You said you feel for humanity dealing with this. Yeah. Nah, real talk, Marquand. Real talk. Darrell, what's going on, brother? He said your oldest son, had a basketball tournament and took both boys. And nice. It was a really good time. Hey, that's what it's all about. Those moments, those present moments with the fam, man. It ain't nothing that ever beats that, Mikey. And that's a blessing that you get to do that. Joy, how you feeling, Joy? Yes. Blessed week ahead. Hey, exactly, Mark Quinn. That ego got more people in trouble than anything. Absolutely is not. Yeah, no, for sure. Feeling like I'm ready to rebound from last week. There we go, Apostle. He said last time the market dropped, apparently this time ready and calm. There we go. See, also that's them little adjustments that you make. All right. So look, let's get into it. Right. So, this week, obviously, there's the war. There's things going on in the Middle East. So what I'm focused the most on is energy stocks, oil stocks, defense stocks. When it comes to calls, when it comes to puts, I'm more interested in some of the stuff like consumer goods, or like online shopping, like things that are not really where people go when there's war raging, right? So we just happen to be positioned in two stocks that are supposed to be going in the right direction, right? We're in an energy stock, we're in calls in an energy stock, FSLR, and we are in puts of, a store, right? Dollar General. So, technicals were showing that it wasn't like a prediction or anything like that based off of what was happening, but the timing, seems to be pretty good. So I haven't looked at the post market or the pre-market just yet. I think about 5 o'clock that'll come on, and then I'll probably put post some sort of update in the TPC or in TPC about it. But yeah, so that's what we locked in on. So let's get into these charts. And again, if there's anything that y'all want to see, y'all be sure to put it in the chat so I can make sure that I analyze it and we can see what's going on. All right, Cortez, what it do, brother? How you feeling? All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right, and again, y'all, if y'all are new, man, y'all know what to do. Well, y'all may not know what to do, but it's in the description. Hit the like button. Just doop. You ever hear me say that? That's all I need is a like. All right, I'm gonna give y'all everything y'all need to be successful. All I need is a like. All right. All right. First up, we got Exxon. Right. Exxon. Big Exxon. All right. So right now it's in a bull flag structure. It's in a bull flag structure. I like it. I like the fact that it's also whenever you get technicals to agree with what's also happening in the geopolitical scene, then that's a recipe for a blast off, right? So it looks like we might be blasting through this bearish order block. Y'all know me; I don't typically like to take calls at an order block. So what I do want to see, which I'm pretty sure we're going to get in the morning, is a blast through this level right here at about 157, right? About 157. That's the top of the flagpole. That's the top of the move. That's also highs. So we get a break of highs. I'd be very interested in a momentum trade to the upside. All right. Um, any if it feels like we're kind of hesitating here in the order block, it's possible that we get a reversal. Right. There's also it's a possibility that we get some sort of news that's calling war off or treaty or peace or whatever. Right. We just never know how that's going to shape up, how long it takes. There is news that the Iranian leader has been killed. So it seems as though there probably will be some versions of retaliation, even if it's not immediate. So I don't see this being something that goes away like within the week. I think we're going to see quite a bit of pumpage on this particular stock. All right. So I'm not even really interested in the downside scenario. I'm only interested in the breakout. All right. So if we break above highs, then I'll be signaling in the group to take action on a call. And of course, I'll have the levels and all of that stuff, targets, all of that good stuff. And again, we're dealing with all-time highs here, right? If I'm correct, we're talking about all-time highs. So again, the way we play that is just since there's no levels up there, we can play it in. I would say with a stock price at 150, I would say about $5 increments, right? If it was in the 200s or 300s, it'd be more like $10 increments. But level to level for me would be break of highs, $5 increments for targets. All right, and obviously you peel off profits as necessary, depending on what your expiration date is. All right, so we'll get more into this. There's really not a ton of analysis that can be done on this on a Sunday, but as we get some more info on price action tomorrow and how things are shaping up in the economy, then then we'll talk about exactly how to enter this. So we'll talk about this probably on live. But shoot, the move may take place during the day tomorrow, so it might be something that we just do exclusively in Prosperity Collective. All right. Also, we have earnings this week. We got Best Buy, I believe Costco, Ross, and Target. Right. So in that consumer goods space, we have earnings. Also, there's job claims and then retail sales that'll be coming out in a couple of days this week. That'll also kind of give some sort of indication on what the economy is looking like and should give some direction or even piggyback in the direction that we're going in. But my sentiments so far this week is really kind of like neutral, hands off. There's not a clear direction on a lot of stocks, and whenever there's stuff like this going on, people just kind of get fearful. I do think that there will be some sort of rotation into metals, right? That's always a good or a safe haven when things like this are popping up. You're probably going to see way more advertisement from metal companies on your TVs popping up, this week and beyond. All right, so that's ExxonMobil, right? Next is Palantir. All right, Palantir is classified as a defense stock. So this is something that usually does well during war times. And if we're looking at this setup, right, it's been consolidating in this range for for quite some time, outside of this bearish flag. So it is very, very neutral right now, but it still is in the structure of you know a three, pretty much like a triple bottom, like three touches, you know, touched here, went up, came down, touched here, went up, came down, touched here. So even though it's in a bit of a consolidation, it's still holding the structure of this triple bottom. So with that being said, any sort of news that's pushing Palantir is going to push it in the direction of this fair value gap here, right? So we've been kind of been a bit of a holding pattern right here, but with, like I said, with attacks being waged on people, threats, all of that stuff looming, it looks like we can really make a pump up here to fill this fair value gap. The filling of the fair value gap is about 153.11, and then the rest of this is a part of the bearish order block. There's plenty of space, right? Like we could really come up here, depending on the momentum that it grabs. So I'll be looking to see how Palantir opens up tomorrow. But if it can clear 141, y'all write that level down. I love it. All right. So that's Palantir. Set an alert for like 140. That'll be good. And then obviously to the downside, is going to be below 126.23. All right, so those are the two levels. If it gets below 126.23, that's an easy continuation down into this bullish order block, about 108 for the target. All right, we'll go into specifics about how far to to swing that out, or how far to get your expiration dates tomorrow in the group and on YouTube Live. But again, we just need a little bit more information about what's taking place. All right. Third is, damn, what was that other one? It was Palantir. Oh, Path. This is a good one, yo. Path. So we caught Path last week. And we caught it down here. The reversal, the hammer reversal pattern. We caught this, this day right here. Some people stayed the whole day. We stayed, most of it, and got, pretty good gains on it. We were saying that we wanted to wait until it broke outside of the wedge, which it looks like it is currently doing, right? It is pretty close to previous day highs, so I would like to see it, break out a little bit more. But this is ready to go to a minimum of of 1220. Right, this is prime to go. This is prime to go. All right, so we just gotta read the price action, see what's going on. I'm gonna actually draw a trend line here too, just to make sure we staying on point. All right. So if we start, if we come down a little bit, but we're bouncing on this trend line, and look, I want y'all to understand this, right? Right? If when we draw these trend lines, like, I don't know if y'all be paying attention, but they really be hitting off the trend lines, bouncing off them, rejecting off of them. But when your trend line is not drawn, you're not understanding what's taking place, right? When you don't draw trend lines, and you don't have your fair value gaps on, and you don't have your order blocks on, you're not understanding why a stock is doing what it's doing. You just kind of just like, oh, well, it's not really working out for me. This stuff is going to ease your mind, right? This is for all the new people, right? People that don't have your charts fully set up. You got to make sure that you get the fair value gaps by Nephew Sam, right? The order block detector by Lux Algo. Strat Assistant is also really key. I also have Bollinger Bands and the Keltner channels, right? I use those a lot for swings, right? I use these are my confluences, right? Built onto the chart. I see these things. I know exactly what's going on, right? And then the icing on the cake is me drawing the trend line. I draw the trend line on there, and I really got a real picture of what's happening in real time. And my favorite time frame is the daily. I drop to the 30 minute, I drop to the 2 hour when taking entries. Okay? Real simple. All right. Sometimes the 15 minute, depending on what the play is. Like I'll use the 15 minute, like open range breakout strategy, um, you know, as well. I've kind of gotten away from doing that as much as I've been more interested in bigger, bigger movements. Um, but yeah, this is going to tell you everything you need to know. Right? We got the wedge here. We got the reversal. It did its thing, and now it's outside the wedge. It's time to pump, and it may even, pump and then pull back, but still respect this trend line. As long as it's respecting this trend line, we out of there. All right. All right. Let me flip back to y'all. See what y'all got going on. All right. Again, as y'all are coming in here, man, Doop, like it up. Like it up. All right. Let's see. Yep. 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 Hey, listen, man. That's all we know how to do, Mark Quinn. We gonna go 100 again. Is your outlook still bullish for FSLR? Yes, yes. Paper stack it is still bullish. All right, still bullish. Um, and again, the reason is because it's in the it's in the energy sector. All right, so we should see a little a little spike on all of that. But again, when the market opens tomorrow, we'll have a better understanding. I knew somebody was going to ask for Lockheed Martin. I got you, Joy. I'll look at that. Jamie, what's going on? What's going on? Like, hey, listen, why as you already know, the trend line is the front line, right? The trend is never going to let you. It's going to let you know what's going on. You know what I mean? And I need y'all to understand that. Some of the shit that I be saying, I feel like I've noticed this. Like some stuff I be saying, it's like it'll smack you in your face. Like when it actually happens or a little bit later, right? I know we throw a lot of information between me and Zay and the group and in the course and all of that stuff, all the stuff y'all studying. It's a lot of information, but when it start really sinking in, I promise you, and I say this in just full transparency, you are going to be like, oh shit, okay, okay, because I remember the moment that I had when it all sunk in, and I'm like, oh, I've been making this way too difficult. I've been putting way too much pressure on myself in terms of like all these other things, and all I have to do is just kind of like simplify it and relax and focus on the simplification of everything, right? If business and making money is all about buying low, selling high, let that be the filter in which I look through everything, right? Everything is about buying low and selling high, right? When am I going to have the best opportunity to go the furthest for the smallest risk? That's always the question that should be running in your mind, right? It's a 55-44. That's interesting. I'm always seeing like synchronized numbers, right? Like like literally every single day I see like a three sequence of fives, a three sequence of fours, 11 11s. Like it's crazy. Um, all right, let's see. Honeymoon for FDX. All right, so let's look at we'll go into Lockheed Martin first, y'all, and then we'll go into some of these other ones. Appreciate you, Jamie. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's been a good weekend. I had a I had a great weekend. As a matter of fact, I'll say that. I had a great weekend, y'all. Yes, indeed. Lockheed Martin. Let's see. All right, Lockheed. LNC. Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I mean everything in this. Hold on, y'all. This is my little bro. So highs are sitting at about 673. All right, let me go ahead and just put a little level right there. All right, I can go up a little bit. All right, and it looks like we're getting a little bit of a little bit of a reversal here. All right, so what I'll also do is draw the trend line. I draw the trend line early. As soon as I see 2 points, I'm already in there. I need y'all to understand this. If I see 2 points that can connect, I'm in there. All right, I'm in there. I just want to see how it behaves off the trend line. All right, obviously a break of highs, then it could be out of here. The technicals right now don't look insane, right? It's not. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, oh, these technicals look crazy. They don't really, they don't really, because it's kind of already been making its move because we've been in war talks, um, and there've been like little small things here and there. So um, the technicals are just showing like a very extended, you know, uptrend. Matter of fact, I can even extend this. I can go to shit. I can go down as far as like here if I really wanted to do it this way, just to make it more potent, right? So that's probably a better trend line right there. All right. So reverses at the trend line for this one, yo. Is a bounce off the trend line is a good entry. A break above high here is a good entry, right? And then also, if at some point we do break down out of this, out of this trend with some major reversal, and we get a confirmation, then we know the fair value gap is trying to get cleaned up. So again, y'all, it's really simple. Just always be putting your trend lines on as much as possible. Whenever you see something changing directions, or whenever you see something that's been in a sustained direction, like draw the trend line so that it's just clear on when that or where that change of direction is. The change of direction is always the best place to enter, because if it's been going in a direction for a while, then that means it has to recover that direction once it changes directions. You see what I'm saying? So you know how you miss a turn, and now you got to drive like 2 miles because all the little breaks in the road saying no U-turn. So you like, damn, damn. Now you 2 miles down the road, and then you throw the U-turn, and now you got to come all the way back. So just think of a trend line like that, right? Every time it bounces off the trend line, it's like, damn, I can't make the U-turn. Damn, I can't make the U-turn. Damn, I can't make the U-turn. And then when it finally make the U-turn, it got to come all the way back. All right, remember that analogy, and notice how that is pretty much what takes place 9 times out of 10. All right, what else I got? What else I got? Let's see. You said, do you have to pay for those services? Um, I'm not sure what services you're referring to. If you're talking about the indicators that I just named, no, they're all free. Um, you do have to pay for TradingView, which is like, I think they have some starting at like $20 a month up to like $50 a month, something like that. But this is, if you're trading, you definitely need a trading view. That's like that's just one of your tools that you need to do this craft. All right, all right. Let's do FedEx. FedEx. All right. FedEx looks exhausted. I like FedEx to the downside. So I like FedEx to the downside. It's exhausted. We got a bearish Harami right here, right? This little pattern right here. It went and tried to test again, and failed. So we should be coming down pretty hard this week. There should definitely be a retracement to this order block right here, right? I would say about at minimum about 372.50. So yeah, depending on how FedEx opens up tomorrow, I'm actually very interested in seeing um, put opportunities on this. That might make it to the watch list. But yeah, solid setup. It's been a short diagonal consolidation, but essentially fading out, losing steam, losing momentum, and ready to fall. A lot of selling pressure coming in here. So Yeah, we'll read price action early on tomorrow. See how it's faring, but I believe that we will see this drop. All right. So again, it's really hard to give it a price target without seeing how it opens because it could gap down tomorrow and that price target gets blown up. But ideally, like this is the general area that FedEx will probably come down to retest before it can even make another move back to the upside. So at minimum, we should see this at about 371.50. All right. So just keep an eye on this tomorrow. Again, if you're at TPC, I probably will have this on the watch list. I do like this setup. I do like this setup. All right. FRMI. All right. FRMI. Again, y'all, if y'all are new, welcome, man. Welcome. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me yap on YouTube. I'm also glad that you're making a decision to change your life because that's what we do here. All right. I just need you to do one thing for me. Doop! Hit that like button. All right. Let's see. All right. So we FR Fernie. What is Fernie? That's a funny ass name. Fermi. It's real estate and investment trust. So it's a REIT. Okay. I don't really trade REITs like that, but it is at a fair value gap and it's bouncing. Um, I don't see anything like super clean on this. Let me look at the weekly. Man, this has been kind of dropping. Rejecting up this fair value. This could be a 3-2 setup on the weekly. Hold on. Yeah, this thing has been dropping. God. Yeah, I wouldn't trust this to the upside. Yeah, I mean, this is a bear flag pattern right here on the weekly. This I matter of fact, as I'm drawing this, I got this being a very bearish week. Because first of all, look, you got the bear flag intact, but then you got the um oh, it's not a three down though, it's a three up. Hold on, yeah. I would just need to see this break out of the bear flag. Yeah, I would need to see this break out of the bear flag. So even though I drew it on the weekly, it's still it still paints the picture on the daily. So a break of about like 850, 845, somewhere around this area right here. I'd be interested in. I'm not interested in the upside of this stock just because of how it's performed historically. Like it's just been going down for a very long time. Very steep, strong selling pressure. Um, yeah, I'd be more interested in this breaking out of this pattern right here. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled to like 845, 840 to 855. Like that's you could set those levels. That's when a breakdown of this bear flag will be opening up. All right, but yeah, I'm not. I've never, like I said, I've never traded a REIT before. I've purchased them, but never like actually traded them. But that's cool. I appreciate it. Was that Daniel? Appreciate that. All right, DDOG and USR. Let's see. DDOG. Y'all be coming with some ones, man. Um, y'all know what I'm gonna do, right? it's going. Hey, it's gonna get to a point. It's gonna get to a point where y'all gonna be like, I know what Sale about to do. Y'all know what I'm about to. Y'all know what I'm about to do. What I'm about to do. Let me see if y'all know me. What am I about to do? What am I about to do? Let me see. Let me see how well y'all know me. We went over Exxon already, Miss Fruitful. When you get off, it's like one of the first ones that I went over. It's on my watch list. So when this is over, you can definitely just go back and watch from the beginning. We did a full analysis on that. If y'all know me, what I'm about to do? Let me see how well y'all know me. What am I about to do on this chart right here? Somebody please tell me. You already know. You already know, Liz. You already know. When I see stuff like it's like this, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that because that's gonna tell you everything you need to know. It's going like I want y'all to understand like it really is this simple. And I swear sometimes we be like, all right, I'm gonna make this harder than what it need to be because I know it's hard because a lot of people don't make money in it. It's not that the technical stuff is hard; it's the psychological parts that cause people not to win. And a lot of the psychological reasons that people don't win is because the same reason that in their personal life that they don't win. It's like they complicate things. It's like, yo, we got us a nice little downtrend. Let's wait for it to pop out. it's, I swear to God, we got a downtrend on Datadog. There's nothing going on here right now until it gets down to this order block. Let me just paint the picture, right? I'm gonna make this a little bigger. We got a very steep downtrend. This is exactly what we just did on Netflix. It's what we did on Path. We're doing on Path. This is my favorite setup. It's one of my favorite setups. Let something go down for a minute and then let it be like, you know what? I'm about to go up. And then you be like, all right, bet I'm gonna come with you. I'm a. It's like following the ambulance in traffic. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get there way faster. So, all right. So yeah, that Datadog. All I'm seeing a downward trend. Yeah, fair value gaps here, all that stuff. We don't need to. We're not into trying to catch a little quick. There, see, we're not interested in catching scalps on things that provide us with big moves. IWM, scout that all day and get your money every day. Zay in there calling them like a coach, right? Get your IWM scalps every day, right? There'll be calls and like Palantir and stuff like that will make when it's obvious on the intraday tip, right? But when you see stuff in a trend like this is when you should start watching it, right? When something is down or up, right? Like up a lot or down a lot, just start watching it. Draw your trend line and just literally just be sitting back like, all right, well, whenever you decide to break across the trend line, I'm gonna get you. Once I get that confirmation, I'm gonna get you, and I'm gonna look for the nearest fair value gap as a means to guide my targets, or I'm gonna look for the nearest bearish order block as a means to guide my target. Need I remind you of this? Need I remind you? Need I remind you of this? Y'all remember this? Who remember this? Who remember this right here? All right. It's very simple, y'all. So we got the trend line drawn on Datadog. I'm not even too concerned about anything going on here to the downside. Because look, the next order block. Let me just really paint the picture for y'all. This is how I want you to approach every stop. Okay, it's going down. Some people might be like, oh man, you know, let's get something that's going down. But why? It's been going down this long, and it has a bullish order block here. So this is probably, if you get into puts, this is the furthest down that you could grab it, and that could be some decent money. But you know what's better money? When it finds its reversal here at this order block, and institutions are like, yo, this joint is way too cheap. We need to buy it up, and then it breaks through this trend line, and it confirms a bullish close outside, and then it skyrockets. Right? It's the most beautiful setup in the market. Ask anybody. Ask any real trader if you can find these wedges, these downtrends, and then these ones that have steep slopes, and then they finally get that breakout. You can't beat it. All right. So draw your trend line on Datadog. Right. Keep your eye on it. Matter of fact, keep me reminded of it throughout the week because if we do get a break out of this, we're going to take it. All right. Solid play, Liz. All right. See, y'all already know the front lines. Y'all know the front line exactly. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what's going on. All right. You said Data Dog is a defense stock, or you talking about Farmy? Farmy is a real estate investment trust, I believe. Um. Okay. UNH and then Starbucks. All right, let's do UNH. UNH, I believe I went over this last week. I don't think it changed much. I think I did this on Friday. Um, I got this written out already. Y'all be able to see that. See, I got it all written out. I got it all written out. We already on it. Huge fair value gap right here. Above 300 is a go. That's the play. Above 300 is a go. Period. Simple. When it gets above 300, it's activated. That's gonna push it into the gap, and we're activated and ready to go. And then it may have some sort of resistance in this area here, like around 309 to 311, right? But once it breaks 300, you got a solid $10 in that, easy. And you can get more, but about $10 to that first target. All right, it's been consolidating in this range for quite some time. It also formed a version of a double bottom right here. It also has a bullish engulfing, so it looks like it wants to start to push up. If it can push above 300, I like it. So y'all set that level 300 is a go for UNH. All right, Starbucks. Starbucks again, y'all. As y'all come in here, y'all make sure y'all hit that. Y'all hit that. Doop. All right, that's all I need. I'm never gonna gatekeep levels. None of that. All right, I'm gonna give you everything you need to be successful. All I need is a like in return. All right, and like real talk. If you've been listening this long and haven't hit the like button, it's like damn. It's like it's taking you longer to sit there than just you know what I'm saying. I don't know. Maybe some people don't like being told what to do or asked what to do. But if you hear and if you're getting some value, I need you to hit that like button for me. All right. Also, I gotta say this, man. Everything that you see here on this screen, it's just me purposes only, right? I don't really know what I'm talking about. I just be on here yapping. All right. I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't possibly be giving you financial advice. All right. Anything that you feel inspired or encouraged to go and take, any play that you feel like you want to go and take, don't take it because I said it. Take it because you did your own research, your own due diligence, and you're using your own brain to make that decision. I just want to make sure that we're clear on that before I move forward. All right. All right, let's get to it. Starbucks. I got the trend line drawn. Y'all see, listen, I'm a practice what I preach. I got the trend line drawn on Starbucks. So what I see on Starbucks is we got a couple of wicks off the trend line. We have this fair value gap right here that let me see when that was formed. Okay, so it filled that gap. So we could be seeing it fade a little bit more. Um, Again, Starbucks, the same way we got this failed to up off of the trend line, like any sort of rejection off the trend line, I'd like. Um, it hasn't been going down long enough for a breakout to the upside for me to be super attracted to. I want to see it come down a little bit more, like maybe down to about the 93 area before it decides to change directions, so that it can give us a little bit of space to the upside. Right now, I'm just drawing what's forming, but it hasn't been in a downtrend long enough, and technically, it's still in an overall bullish trend, but it is in a short term downtrend, right? But if you really scale out, right, and say we come down, we come down and look at it from this perspective, it's still in the uptrend, right? It's still in the uptrend, right? So if I were to draw this long, a longer term one, like from November, right, it's still technically like in a uptrend, all right. It's not that steep of an uptrend though, right? You could go there. You could do another one, and this is another thing I want y'all to understand, y'all. There's trends within trends, right? So it's also like you could draw one here. Let's see. I feel like this would be yeah, something like that to about like that. There's trends within trends. All right. So the way that you understand like what trend, where the trend is literally just like watching the breaks. Right. This is why I told y'all. I don't know if y'all on my live when I was saying that, like it's a lot of geometry in trading. Right. When you start to draw your trend lines and your angles, and you start to understand the slopes and stuff like that, that's giving you insight on how quickly something is going to rise or fall, or how quickly it's expected to rise or fall, and how a break of that can then change the trajectory or change the speed, right? This is the reason that a falling wedge is so important, right? When something is falling down, like, all right, this is the best way to think about it. It's so many analogies that just pour through me on a daily basis of how to describe this. And it's like, think of a falling wedge. It's like you think about just slamming or throwing something rubber like down at the ground, right? It's going to bounce up higher. So the further the drop, right? So the further I'm throwing something, the higher it's going to bounce. So if I've been falling for 3, 4, 5 months, it's going to bounce way harder than if I've been falling for a couple of weeks. If I've been falling for years, it's going to bounce way harder than if I were falling for a couple of months. You see how that goes, right? There's countless examples of this, and I just want y'all to get familiar with the simplicity of these bounces and these change of directions. All right, so I got all these different trend lines drawn on Starbucks, which are all valid, right? But we're gonna see which one it honors. I would like to if it breaks through this area right here, then this trend line can just disappear, right? The moment that your trend line gets breached, you can take it out, or you can leave it there as a means of it being retested. All right. So a lot of times I don't even take mine off. I just leave them there because I'm like, all right, well, when it comes back up, it's not randomly rejecting off of this area right here. It was a trend line there, right? Sometimes I'll be waiting for it to come up to a level of resistance that's horizontal. But I need y'all to understand a horizontal level is important, but it's very rare that something honors a horizontal level because it's too specific. It's usually a zone, and that zone is usually like held up by a diagonal support or resistance. All right. I'm not trying to complicate things too much. I just need y'all to understand that, like, if it was as simple as like, okay, when it gets to $98, it's going to reject, and then when it comes back to 98, it's going to reject again. Everybody will be rich. But there's a little bit of art to it. It's like, it's going to come up in this area, right? It may start bouncing before the horizontal level because it's bouncing off of a diagonal level, right? It's bouncing off of a diagonal trend line that should have been drawn. You see what I'm saying? So with Starbucks, again, when it breaks, if it breaks below here, then we know that okay, if we draw this far enough up, right, then that could be another level in which it rejects off of in the future, right? This is why sometimes you'll see me take a trend line and I'll draw it long as I don't know what. You know what I'm saying? Like take that line and just draw it as long as possible, because when you do that and then you allow your charts to just kind of like, shape up over time, you start to see like, oh man, okay, like that's the reason it rejected right there. I was trying to figure out why it just out of nowhere rejected. It was like, oh, it was a whole trend line right there that was also accompanied by like a fair value gap that was created in this process. But if you're not drawing your trend lines and keeping them going, like when you draw it, keep extending it, you're not going to understand like when something that seems random happens. There's really not that many random things that happen in the market. It happens. It's some random stuff that happens very rarely, and we call that out. Like when we see it, we're like, oh, that's some bullshit right there. But for the most part, it is following some sort of a script or something that happened in history or some sort of rule that it has for itself. You just may not be familiar with these rules. All right. So that's why it's important to continue to educate yourself in this regard. But a trend line, you just can never go wrong with putting it on and stretching it out. All right. All right. Appreciate it, 362. Yep, yep, yep. Savon, you said Iran. Oh yeah, we could definitely look at Iran. I like Iran, y'all. I like how much money I make in Iran when we do it. I like it. Ooh, yeah, I like it. It's at an order block. Anytime it's at an order block, I love it. Um, yeah, I like it. Let me this is what I'll do for Iran. I'll let me make a reminder to myself. Hey, shit, can you send me the link to your group? For sure, bro. Hold on real quick, y'all. It's my I think my little brother about to join the group, y'all. About to join the Prosperity Collective. Mm-hmm. We've been talking about it for a while. Give me 1 second. It's a beautiful thing when the people you love come around and they're like, "Yo, show me that thing you've been doing." You know what I mean? All right, so yeah, Iran looks pretty cool. Again, like I said, I wanna take a moment to like look at the order flow to see if there's some contracts coming in. But we got a double bottom forming for sure. This could be really clean. We could come up and first target could be close at this first fair value, see how it reacts, and then next target could be this second fair value gap. Really simple how we find our targets, y'all. All right, it's currently consolidating at this order block. So what I need to see is a confirmation. Higher high, higher low would be cool, but taking this level out would be even better. Um, Obviously, we want to get the earliest entry we can to take advantage of the full move or a big part of the move. So again, I'll post in Prosperity Collective like the order flow for Iran, and I'll let you know if this is something that we need to have on our radar like early in the morning, because this could be a move that takes off pretty quickly. All right, but yeah, solid call out on that one, Savan. NBTS, I got you, newbie, all day. I got you, NBTS. Okay. So we range bound, right? We've been range bound since November in this stock. Going in between this order block. Um, if it can come down and clean up this fair value gap down here at about $8, I like it for a bounce at $8. Just a repeat of what it's been doing. Um, that's more of a quick move. If you guys are waiting for something that's bigger, like I always say, we just look for breakouts, right? So since we've been range bound between 11.41 and about $7 for the past, since since what, November, right? So November, December, like what, like 7 months? Hold on, November, December, January, February. Yeah, so about 4 or 5 months. Um, I would just wait for a break of this bearish order block, right? And then we can target these fair value gaps over here. So if you're looking for a higher risk to reward play, um, I would say above 1150 for the for calls. To the downside, below $7. All right, I'd be more interested in the upside play though. So a break of this 1150. I'd be more interested in that. But also, like I said, if it can come down here and bounce, like once it gets through this fair value gap, I like it there too. And that could just be that could be a swing. You get in and out of that 24 hours, right? So you can get out of that in the weekly. Because even though it's range bound, the range is wide enough for it to substantiate itself, right? It's not every time it makes its way down to a level, you see it shoots up, consolidates, comes down, shoots up. So every time it comes down to the block, it shoots up. So you could get a nice move here. Normally, I wouldn't buy so much inner range, but this range is wide enough for you to be able to still make some money. So again, about $8 coming and filling this fair value gap tomorrow. I'd be interested in it, but we can update this on live tomorrow, just based on price action. All right. Yep. Yep. CVS. Let's get it. CVS. Let's get it again, y'all. As y'all come in, man, hit that like button for me one time. All right. Also, if you're looking for a trading home, right? I can't stress this enough. Being in the right environment is critical. All right. So the Prosperity Collective, like we offer a beautiful, supportive community. You're also first and foremost making money, which is what we're I would say most of us are here for. We don't try to break the bank with memberships. It's a fair price. I think everybody that's on here live that's in it would agree. I mean, we even had people be like, "Man, I need to charge more." But we're doing this because we want people to be able to come in, learn, and not have to worry about all the other extra stuff that comes with the industry, like the egos, like the upsells, like the manipulation, and all of the things that prevent you from just getting to where you need to go. All right. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, that resonates with you, make sure you hit the description in the I'm sorry, hit the link in the description and go ahead and join. All right. If you've been on the fence about it, I don't know what better time. All right. If you've been following lives and you're seeing these plays work out week after week, week after week, when you gonna allow yourself to get some? All right. All right. We on CBS. CBS is bullish. CBS is bullish. It's come down and formed this somewhat of a double bottom. The neckline right here is actually breaking above the neckline. I like it. If it can break above this neckline, I like it up to about right at the top of this fair value, about 82.50. All right, about 82.50. And have y'all noticed? Have y'all noticed that a lot of these like gaps and stuff be around like a 50 or like $1? You know what I'm saying? Like that's something to pay attention to as well. You'll see a lot of fair value gaps and stuff form around, even if it's a few cents off, but it's usually like right around like something 50, right? For a fair value gap. I mean, a lot of the ones I looked at today had that same exact thing, but 50 and then whole dollars is typically where you're gonna see a lot of levels for bearish or bullish order blocks or fair value gaps. All right. So this is already breaking. It's already actually above this neckline right here. So yeah, I'm looking for a continuation on CVS. That'd be nice. That'll definitely be something to keep an eye out for in the morning. There's no other levels it needs to break. You just need to see it continue. It's already broken this level right here. So a continuation into this fair value gap. All right. And like I said, right up here about 82.50 is where I would take profits in this particular stock. All right. Just see if you have time. Can you please bull? Yeah. All right. So I'll go bull. All right. We bull. We bull. What I'm about to do, y'all? What I'm about to do, y'all? What I'm about to do, y'all? BD, what's going on? You said been long since that earlier. Yeah. Trees, what's going on? Yeah, I look into silver, wise, but I think it's definitely gonna be a solid situation. But I'll look into it. All right, what am I about to do, y'all? When y'all see this, what am I about to do? I want it. Listen, when I get on here, I want y'all to be able to. I'm not. I'm. This is what I'm telling you. I'm not gatekeeping, right? I want y'all to understand that. I want y'all to be able to get into my mind and be like, okay, this look like This look like what Sell would do. When you see something like this, the best first move, I can't stress this enough. It's how you make money. The best first move is what? What am I about to do? The trend line. That's it. I'm telling y'all, it don't get no harder than this. I'm telling you. And matter of fact, this is actually a really good one because look at how far back we go. We could actually draw this one. Okay, I see how I'm gonna draw this one. I ain't even been looking at bull. Come on, look at that. Oh yeah, we could take this all the way. We just take that all the way up. All right, all right. I'm trying to tell y'all this. Who would have thought that just drawing a line could make you so much money? I'm a like real talk. Who who would have thought that just with a line? You see, XOM is up 6%. I'm telling you, energy gonna go crazy. Like I said, we already are positioned in stocks that are going in the right direction. So we should see some decent stuff. He said best BC. He said he had bull for life. I'm telling you, man. Listen, that front line. I'm telling you, the front line. We gonna stop calling it a trend line. It's a front line. Listen, you draw the front line. That's it. And then you use that as a way to now build reasons outside of that, right? So we got the trend line. We know what direction is going in. We see that this is also a falling wedge. If I were to like come and draw a trend line at the bottom of this area right here, we can say that's a wedge, right? Because it has been wider and getting narrower. So, but we don't even need the bottom side. That's another thing I've learned about wedges. It's like you don't even need the bottom side. You just need the top side. That's it. Because we're not looking for it to continue to break through the bottom. We're looking for it to break and go in another direction. So this side don't even really matter. It's this side. So let me see if we have any sort of order blocks. We don't appear to have any order blocks. But also this price point is getting into dangerous territory, which is actually good news. Because here's what happens when a price point gets into dangerous territory. Like it gets super low. A lot of times the companies will do things, especially if it is a useful company, to manipulate that price. So that could be buying back shares, or it's a bunch of little tricks they can pull out to get it to pump. So it also has earnings in 3 days. I'm not really sure what the earnings are going to look like, but it could be a major breakout coming out of this trend line, this downtrend. Right? We got a ton of fair value gaps to the upside to fill. When it closes over the trend line or the friend line, right? We get a bullish close above the trend line. What we doing? What we doing? We getting in calls. Simple. Simple. If this video has been helpful, y'all just go ahead and hit that like button for me. Boop, one time for me. All right. SoFi is falling. Yeah, let's look at SoFi real quick. We were talking about this the other day. We were talking about this the other day. And why is SoFi falling? Because look at the trend line, right? It has a steep curve. It's a steep slope. We talked about this. We already drew it. It's already there. It's already there. It's going like we not interested in SoFi until we get the turn. It's already been coming down. Until it turns, we're not really interested in it. It gapped down yesterday. It's probably falling. Like a lot of stuff in the tech space or anything outside of defense, at least for tomorrow, is probably not going to be in the best shape. There is some tech stuff that does fall under defense or whatever, like some certain data systems, Palantir, right? But when it comes to like stuff like this, like consumer stuff, is not going to be in the highest priority for people. All right, I need y'all to understand that. You said look at the monthly. It's in a couple. Oh, for real? Which one you talking about, Best Beezy? You said Hood did the same. You talking about Hood being in the cup and handle? Y'all know I love the cup and handle. Yeah, I would get a leap on Bull as soon as it turns the initial. As soon as it turns and confirms, I would definitely get leaps in that. I mean, I just think about the people that use Bull every day. I'm just like, I just think it's a solid company. They and relative to a lot of these platforms, they're pretty new. Like they came on the scene after like a lot of these well established like Fidelity, Charles Schwab, TD, all of these banks. They came in on the scene afterwards, right, and created their platform. Um, like I remember when Bull started and they was running all these promotions and giving everybody like money to spread the word. Um, so they've really like done a lot of innovative stuff in the space. It's about SoFi. You said Palantir already up 5%. I'm telling you, like these stocks in these particular sectors are going to be doing well tomorrow. This you get a missile attack and you kill a leader. That is a war move. That is like this is the beginning, right? You're not seeing the end of something. You're seeing the start of something that could be bigger. So that's what everybody is thinking. Institutional buyers, everybody's taking the same approach to buying. All right. Um, you said so SoFi on the monthly. Okay, let me see. SoFi on the monthly. Oh shucks. Hold up. Yeah. You already know, Best B. Ugh. Listen, man, I done made so much money on cup and handles, but they take a long time to form. They take a long time to form. So yeah, I like this. I mean, obviously it's again, we can't just take it randomly because it could still come down and fill these fair value gaps down here. But I see what's happening for sure. I see what's happening for sure. Um, well, hold on. Actually, yeah, because this was more of a double bottom right here, like from here to here to here. That was a double bottom. But when you look at it from a longer perspective, yeah, it's definitely more of a cup and handle. Yeah, maybe down to like 15, like $15, somewhere between like 12 and 15. I scoop it up on a leap situation. But no, this is solid. Like BlackRock, JPM, and others have been buying up shares of big time and so far. Yeah, yeah, I definitely like it down at 15. Um, and y'all, like I said, whenever something, let me go back to the daily. Whenever something is going like this is all right. This is how investing goes, right? It's like it start going down. People be like, "Damn, man," and then they're like, "Man, I'm not gonna get that. I'm gonna let somebody else get that, and I'm gonna sell it to them, right? I'm gonna get out of my position and I'm gonna give it to people because I just believe that the stock market is gonna continue to just go down." Not knowing that there's people sitting back like, "Oh yeah, hell yeah, y'all keep on coming down a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more, yeah, a couple more dollars." I bet. And you know what they be saying? They be like, "Suckers." They be like, you gave it to me at $15. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta watch these trend lines, right? Still do your fundamental analysis. Make sure that the company is in good standing or at least is in trend to be in a profitable place, right? Or they're able to identify when they're going to be in profit, or you see some sort of consistent pattern in the income statement, right? Like maybe the gross margin is increasing, right? Maybe they're lowering their debts, right? Maybe their revenues are increasing year over year, right? Maybe their earnings per share is improved, right? You pay attention to those things, and then you see that it's coming down, and it doesn't really have like a real reason to come down. That's what I call the real opportunities in the market. Netflix just did. Netflix ain't have a real reason to come that far down. Yeah, they was doing a deal and whatever. Like they didn't have a reason to fall that hard, but that's what the opportunity is. So psychologically, when somebody's like, "Oh, this doesn't have a reason to fall that hard," they're instantly thinking that this company is over with. But when you slow it down, you're like, "Yo, is Netflix with all that cash about to be over with?" This is why it's important to read the income statements and know what's going on with a company, right? Like if a company is in good standing and is coming down, your job is to find out why and then to determine if it was like it was an exaggeration. So exaggerations are where money is made in both directions. An exaggeration to the upside makes us wealthy, but we get into that play when there's an exaggeration to the downside. And you can do it vice versa, but I recommend going exaggeration to the downside, enter, take profit, exaggeration to the upside. And the reason is because the stock market is rigged to go up. So you'll have way more time of upside than you'll have time of downside. So even though that we could go through a bear markets are not as long as bull markets, right? So when you see an exaggerated downside, try to find the point of turning, right? Try to find a point in which it's catching like a new direction and where those institutions are buying, and then that's where you place your buy and you allow it to be sold when it goes into an exaggeration to the upside, right? And if you have a much longer outlook on things, even better, right? Because you're going to go through a few of those over the course of 10 years. 10 years in a market, you're going to see it go up and down multiple times, right? So, but it'll be on an angle, right? It'll be on a wave up, and then sometimes it'll come a little bit below that wave, but ultimately will go even higher than before if it's a good company. All right, so yeah, SoFi is definitely solid. You said because they're big on their loan restructure and their cash. Yeah, yeah, definitely do that. Definitely do that. Right. Diluted its shares twice and has been doing this so companies and institutions are slowly acquiring shares. Yeah. Listen, man, smart money is great money to follow. All right, never be ashamed to mimic. This is where you converse. It could be tarnished. So yeah, yeah. So always like I said, like y'all when you see something falling, it's a gift. Just straight up and down. All right, it's a gift. Not just randomly though, right? It's not like oh it's falling, we're gonna get into it. No, wait for the turn, draw your trend line, do your research on the company. And again, we're talking about longer term plays, y'all. We're not talking about um, just tomorrow, or you know what I mean. Like we talking about like longer term setups. Like this has been falling since SoFi has been falling since January, the beginning of the year. Really a little bit further. So really, it was like more like November when it first made its initial drop. Then it consolidated for a little bit and then fell more. So we're talking about months on end for this particular stock. All right, all right. Let me get back to y'all. What was after SoFi? You said PayPal got a cup and handle with the gap. On what time frame? Let me look at PayPal. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yep. Because again, when there's a gap, yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Um, yeah, PayPal could cook above 40. I say 48.50, 48.60. Yep. You could also call this. See, that's the thing. Like a cup and handle could also be a bull flag, right? The right side of the cup and handle could be a bull flag, the same way that a double bottom can turn into a bear flag, right? Or a head and shoulders can turn into a bull flag, right? It's like all these patterns can like shift into another pattern, right? Because all it is like what's forming patterns are pullbacks and breakouts. So we got this pump right here. We got this pullback. This is also a bull flag. So what do we need to see it do? Break out the bull flag. I can draw that on. Something can simultaneously be like a cup and handle and a bull flag, right? Because that's all a cup and handle is. It's a bull flag on the side, right? So a break out of that would be nice, but what would be even cleaner is above the high of that pole. So or a break out of that handle, however you want to phrase it. They're both correct. All right. So yeah, somewhere around like 48, 60, 70. Really, if you want to just be safe, 49 would be would put it well above the level. Um, we could be going to fill this gap. So yeah, I like this on the intraday. I like this on the intraday if we can get a break above that. But again, we gotta see how the market starts to shake out this week. We may see a lot of setups start to get blown up as a result of what's going on in the world. Like sometimes, like something to be clean as I don't know what, and then wartime hit. You like God, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. All right, what y'all talking about in here? SBET. Yeah, yeah, y'all, and we'll and Prosperity Collective. We don't. I know we do a lot of like we talk about swings and intraday trades and scalps and stuff like that. We'll start adding more information about shares too, right? I got the Leap channel too, but what I want y'all to understand is that ultimately, let me actually flip back on here real quick. Ultimately, ultimately, what we're ultimately doing is trying to get to a place where we're not doing a damn thing. That's wealth. Wealth is when you don't do anything and your money just don't stop, right? So we trade so that we can put more money into leaps to get bigger money. And then when we make money on leaps, what we ultimately want to do is we want to slow it down and put it into equities because that's ownership and it's slower and it's more consistent and it's higher probability. And you have to do nothing but just let time go by, right? So you make the money in the options, you put them in longer term options, make more money, and then you pull it out of that and you put it into equities, which is you just having ownership. This is something that you could give to your children. This is something that you could give to anybody that you allocated to in a trust or in a will, right? So ownership is the only way that something can be passed, right? You can't pass a leap because that joint got a date. You can't pass a trade on because it got a date. So equities are the original investing, right? That's the original OG mature way to invest. And the options and stuff like that, like I said, you make money, but there is still risk. So what you're ultimately trying to do is make as much money as possible so that you can park it, right? In index funds and REITs and very strong technology companies. All right. So never lose sight of that, yo. What we ultimately are trying to do is not do nothing for the money. That's the ultimate goal at all times, right? So always be keeping that like cycle in your mind. Like make the money, park the money, make the money, park the money. You don't want to stay in the mode of making money forever, right? You want your money to be able to do that for you. Because even though we're going and trading, and it might take like 20 minutes to go grab a few $1,000s, good. But you know what's better than taking a few minutes to go grab $1,000? Being asleep, being asleep and grabbing tens and twenties and hundreds of thousands overnight. That's the best. I'm telling you. You wake up and you ain't did nothing, and your money going like that. It ain't no better feeling than that. I'm sorry. That's facts. Fight me on that one. Fight me on that one, man. Fight me on that. Exactly. Exactly. You get into them dividend plays and you just collecting money to be alive. That's the ultimate wealth right there. All right. So let's always keep that in mind. All right. Let's see. All right. I got about a solid 10 more minutes with y'all, man. It's been a beautiful time. I think we got a clear idea what we doing. You and DG, yeah, DG, we should be good. Are y'all see what's in D? Are y'all see what DG's doing right now? I'm not even looking at. Let me look. Let me see. Look and see. Let me see if DG is doing anything in the market. Let's see. Y'all, it look like we about to make some money, y'all. Look at this. Y'all look at Dollar General. Y'all look at Dollar General. It look like we about to make some serious money. I want y'all to go look at Dollar General real quick. It's down. It's down 1.5%, which is really good for us. Really good. Really good for us. All right. So we should be waking up. We should be waking up some cash tomorrow. Um, let me look at First Solar. We might have a double whammy. Another honey bun added to the collection. Let's see. Let's see. Well, First Solar's down too. So we got calls in First Solar. So that's not the greatest, but we'll see how that shakes out. Um, we should be up really nice in Dollar General. First Solar, we might have to wait a little bit. And I'll signal that in the group to see like if it's holding or whatever. But again, this is overnight; things could change. We'll see. But again, Dollar General is looking good. First Solar is like, we'll we'll have to wait and see how that shakes out. All right, let's see. SBET. All right, let's do SBET, and I get up out of here. SBET. And my bad, man. You did mention that earlier, and I think I skipped over that. SBET. Hmm, not bad. I mean, I like to see it. It's bouncing off the bottom of a fair value gap. A break above 750, and then a shot into these fair value gaps up here. That's it. It's in a little range right here. Just needed to break out of this consolidation. It break above here, we good money. We could take that on an intraday. So tomorrow, if it opens up like bullish, cool. That could be a nice confirmation. If we break above 750, then I like it into this first fair value gap. All right. So again, this could be an intraday call, um, or again, let's see how it closes tomorrow because we might get the full bullish close tomorrow, the full confirmation tomorrow. So if it can break above this area here, 750 area, then I really do like it to the upside to clean this up right here. All right. Obviously, if we want to take it all the way up to this bearish order block, which is very clean to do that, we need the break here, and we also would get the expiration date out a little longer. But just on an intraday trading tip, a break above this high, 750, 760, we could ride that into the first fair value gap on the weeklies. But again, we're approaching the market, very neutral, risk off, until we get a better grip on exactly what's going on. I don't recommend anybody going with super full size initially, right? I think that y'all should definitely go into this Monday very very cautious, and just kind of see how things shape up first. But yeah, What time is Discord? So Discord, we get started. I'm on the West Coast, so 6:15 my time. If you're on the East Coast, is 9:15. That gives you 15 minutes to just kind of deliberate before the market opens, and then market open, me and Zay go into talking you guys through our calls. We'll let you know what we're taking, and where to enter, all that good stuff. Okay. So yeah, it's been love, man. I hope y'all go and enjoy the rest of y'all. See, now I'm seeing 44.66. That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all go and enjoy. Y'all go and enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. I will see y'all bright and early in the morning. All right. It's always love over here. Remember, invest smart so you can live free. All right. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.